Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing out there? It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday. I'm Hugh from IW, and I'm sitting here with my boss and friend, Will Wisner from Grunt Foundation. How you feeling?
I am feeling amazing today.
Sorry for getting off to a late start. The traffic in St. Louis was not participating in our ability to make deadlines. But we are here. We are ready to rock and roll, and we are going to jump right in. So today we're going to talk about what all is going on in the Grunt Foundation world. We're going to talk about the incredible healing trip we just did last weekend in the Ozarks on the river with kayaking, canoeing, etc. We're going to get into journaling and how that can help heal emotional trauma and talk a little bit about journaling with Jenna and Anna. Then we're going to talk about the release of our IW documentary that's coming to Amazon Prime and YouTube streaming on July 4th. For our 10-year anniversary. And then we're going to talk about the concert and drone show and fireworks we are doing for the 10-year anniversary.
We got a lot going on, man.
We've got a ton going on. But I wanted to start out by saying you're fresh back from D.C. You brought back, and you actually went out to Colorado for an event.
And then we went floating.
And you went into the Ozarks to heal on the water. And you brought this glass skull that is filled with veterans' pill bottles from D.C.
And family members.
And family members.
Yep.
So tell us about what you bring this here. I know that you used it at a press conference in the Capitol. Walk us through that again.
Yeah, what it was, this was kind of our theatric part of our press conference. It was also a healing part of the press conference. We want to insert healing of some sort into everything that we do. And what we did here with this skull, which might be a little hard to see on the camera, it's may look better in real life because it's clear and crystalline, so a little hard to see out. But what we did is we set up a little podium, a little altar of sorts to the demon Mammon, who is the demon that governs greed. And we think that greed is ultimately what's behind the pharmaceutical industry and this crisis that we have on overprescriptions of psychotropic medications. And so what we did is we symbolically took these pill bottles, and we had all the veterans that participated in that hike brought their pill bottles, and the families of those that are the survivors of people that have committed suicide in protest. We had a good number of those families there, and we just asked them to take all that hurt and all that pain that these things have brought into their lives by way of this greed of big pharma, and we asked them just to push all of that emotional turmoil and hurt and just down into those pill bottles, and then put the lid on it, and then they carried it on the hike, the healing hike, down to the press conference, which was a lot of fun because there we've got all these people, and then comes all these veterans in silky shorts carrying pill bottles into the Capitol of the United States.
They don't see that every day.
They don't see that every day. And then everybody, the families and the veterans were throwing the pill bottles into the skull. There's a little hole on the bottom of the skull so the pill bottles would fall through and go down into this altar. And so, we were just kind of banishing that whole thing of greed, man. It was just a good symbolic gesture for everyone to latch onto and heal, and it made a big statement, and it was a powerful part of that press conference. It was definitely weird and off the beaten track, but it made the statement we were looking to make. So now it's going to live here on the old podcast desk.
Great, yeah. So people took their negative emotions, the things that they associated with all these different pharmaceuticals that they've been given.
That's right.
And they took all the negative emotionality around that and intentionally, placed it with the bottle and then let it go.
That's right.
So they just let it go, and it allowed for an emotional release. Were there any tears or anything?
Oh, there was lots of tears.
Yeah, I bet, man. That sounds really powerful.
Just giving people simple little things.
Absolutely.
Just taking an action.
Symbolism in action. Yes.
Exactly.
It takes your intention to reality, right?
That's right.
It takes an intention that you have inside of you and manifests it into reality and brings it forward, onto this plane when you do that. So
that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. I love that. So what all is going on in GSF world? What's coming up? What do you got?
Oh, man, we have got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Number one, close at hand, we have next week, the 4th of July, We're going to be doing Celebrate St. Louis, which is the 10th anniversary of Irreverent Warriors. So we're going to be celebrating in big style with thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people partying hard down in St. Louis underneath the arch right there on the Mississippi River. It is the largest fireworks display in North America.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's big, and we have a lot of good bands that are coming out. So IW is going to be doing a hike and coming in. You can tell us more about that. You know more about that than I do.
Absolutely, yeah. The Silkies hike is going to start in Busch Stadium, or in front of Busch Stadium where the Cardinals play, and we're going to go through Ballpark Village.
That's going to be amazing.
We're going to go to the old Busch Stadium infield and do a group photo. And we're going to go to Keener Plaza, which has some nice gardens and fountains. We're going to go through there. We're going to go to the old courthouse, which is where the Civil War and the fight for freedom truly began.
Yeah.
And you know, we are on our own fight. We are in our own fight for freedom and for rights for veterans to be able to be serviced in a way that meets them where they are instead of forcing things down their throat, literally. And then we're gonna march past the National Museum and then through the arch to the grand staircase, and then down the grand staircase up onto the stage and celebrate.
You're going to weird everybody out, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
We're going up on stage, and we're gonna have almost every unit division flag you can think of, and branch flag, as well as IW and Grunt style flags, and we're gonna go up on stage, and then we're gonna give a cheers.
Yeah, man. We're going to do the old Grunt style three-toast salute.
That's right. Yeah. We're going to do, 3 different toasts, and we're going to play a new IW commercial that represents the direction we're headed, and, just a tribe of healing, So that's what's going on.
That is going to be an amazing event. And how can people participate, man? I know there's a place people can go to get tickets to get into our VIP area for the backstage
the VIP
access
backstage
for the concert and all of that.
Yep, VIP backstage access comes with food and ice cold drinks, and that is going to be $10 a ticket for our 10-year anniversary. So obviously we're not breaking even, but it's a great deal. But $10 a ticket, and you can get it at irreverentwarriors.com and click on events.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that one. So that's a big one, man. That one's coming up. The July 24th through the 28th, our friends out on the Pine Ridge Reservation.
Black Hills.
Lakota.
Lakota.
They're just outside the Black Hills. They're more in the Badlands, actually, than the Black Hills. But if you're going to go out that way and you don't go to the Black Hills and see Mount Rushmore and all of that, you're crazy, because it is one of the most geologically amazing places on planet Earth. It literally looks like it jumped out of a Tolkien novel or something. It's just so incredibly beautiful there.
Yep.
But we're going to be doing the old Sundance there from July 24th through the 28th, and we're partnering there with our good buddy Jay Garnett, who is the Sundance chief there for that Sundance, and we have set up some time each day to work with any veterans that want to come out and participate in that ceremony. Veterans are a very important part of the Sundance ritual and ceremony that goes over these 4 days. It's a great opportunity for healing and starting out a whole new beginning, cleaning the canvas, I guess, is really kind of the intention of that. But that's a great time. If anybody's interested in going that, they can drop us an email or contact us by Facebook here or other social media and let us know that you're interested in going. There's no cost to go. You just got to get yourself out there, and we'll go see one of the most amazing medicine events that I have ever participated in, which is, of course, the Sundance. And so that is coming up. And again, it's 24th to 28th next month. Then we roll into a whole lot of other flurry of activity, but building towards Grunt Style Foundation's Integration 2025 event. So
can we expect Lakota at the integration retreat?
Yes, they will absolutely be there. We'll be doing the Nippy Sweat Lodge. So if you can't make it out to Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and participate in the Sweat Lodge out there on the res, you can come out to the integration event and participate out there. So we're going to be having all the staff that come a day early, or if you're an IW volunteer and you're out there earlier, we scholarship you to come out. You're there that day earlier. Thursday's going to be our setup day. And then Thursday night, Jay and the boys are going to be hosting the Nippy Sweat Lodge that's not throttled, because we have to tone it down a good bit for the main event when we do Friday and Saturday night Sweat Lodge at Integration.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I was indoctrinated into sweating as a healing modality
Yeah.
and purging toxins. And yeah.
So yeah,
That was
so that's
intense.
Thursday night. So if you want to get out there and go deep with
It
the
was
Lakota, that's the time.
It was intense. Literally, we were intense.
Well, yes, we were. It was wild, man. Jay did my leg was going crazy last year. My elbow too. I have this weird toxic exposure thing and all that.
You were up front, man. You were right by the rocks.
Yeah, they pulled me up. They're going to do on Thursday night for the special, the hardcore one, right? They do this thing goes in 4 rounds. They call it doors, and each round means something for a different prayer,
and it ramps up.
It ramps up, and the 3rd round is the healing round. And so, because my joints were going crazy from my toxicity, they gave me a special healing, and that involved.
I remember that was my very first time. So,
oh, really? That was your very first time?
Yeah,
ever?
and I remember thinking that I was dead.
Yeah, man, it's intense. And they had me blowing through this whistle, this eagle bone, and I have to say this prayer in Lakota, which I don't speak, and then I had to drink all this water out of this big old buffalo horn. And I think that thing was connected directly to the Atlantic Ocean because I could not seem to drain it. And then I was getting in my head about like, oh man, this thing's legit a buffalo horn from some cow pasture somewhere that was on a skull. So how do I know when I'm at the bottom? Do I get like the flake chips from inside the buffalo horn, or what's the signal?
Yeah.
But it was a powerful ceremony. And I tell you what, I walked out of that damn thing walking upright.
Yep.
And yeah, it's amazing stuff. So anyway, that's what's on the agenda. And the details for that, people can go to our Facebook group. We launched that this week. It's over at Integration 2025 STL, I think is the name. Let me double check that real fast. I'm not giving out bad info. Integration 2025-STL. If you search for that on Facebook, the group will pop up. It's a public group. And we're putting out all the information on the event. Right now, it's just buzzing. I mean, all the people that went last year are sharing their stories and photos of last year's event. And it's just, the group's really taken off in the 2 days that it's been up. So there's a lot of excitement for this event coming.
Great. Yeah, I can't wait. And I know that the event's going to be right next to Lake Lincoln, which is there in Quiver River State Park. And speaking of Lake Lincoln, we just went and did a 3-day trip into the Ozarks on the Merrimack River.
That's right.
With kayaks, canoes, whitewater rafts, going down and doing an event there. And we've got Bill Wilkie.
Yeah.
Mike Wilkie. One of our national staff members and LCs from Milwaukee, who unfortunately passed away in March after going to the VA for a surgery. His brothers came on the river with us, and we had some pretty spectacular healing across the whole group that showed up. It was really, really awesome. Everybody that attended, and I wanted to ask Bill. We haven't really touched base since I saw him last weekend at the event, so I wanted to talk to him a little bit and see
how things are going.
Yeah, how things are going. First of all, with your own journey, and how did that help, or did it help? Being out on the water.
Oh, it absolutely helped. I mean, I'm the reason I go is because I'm trying to represent my brother, but it's good for me as well. To meet all the people and be in a friendly environment and. Lots of tears, but it helps. It helps a lot.
One thing I noticed was that the voices in my head, that when I'm in the city or I'm in traffic, there's just a constant conversation. There's just chatter, right? Like a lot of negative self-talk. And then when I get out there on the water, that just stopped. It was just calm and peaceful. We actually have a video we can show, Bill, that we're going to roll here.
Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo.
I'm ready. I've been waiting for months to be able to get on the river.
Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo.
Didn't realize how loud your world was until that was gone, and you had sudden peace and tranquility, and you can enjoy the birds above you, the fresh air like streaming through your nose, the breeze that shakes out your hair, like just reconnect with yourself, but then to connect with others doing the same thing. It feels good. It feels like you belong.
I can't think of a better
way to calm my mental health and to be on the water, enjoying the sun and the Ozarks of Missouri.
Good to go. This is the best place to be, man. This is where you go inward. Just good for the soul.
Oh, that would have been a great line for you to flip on.
I mean, yeah, right. Right.
I went out, waded out right here without my canoe, and then it just grabbed me, and it was like, I'm gonna take you on a cool ride, and then it flew me down here. I mean, like a slingshot? Slingshot. Look at Billy Recon over here.
I haven't heard any stories yet.
Oh, yeah.
Today is my first official day, enjoying Irrelevant Warriors of Missouri. I've met people from Tennessee, from St. Louis.
The vibe is 10. 10 out of 10 recommend.
This is my 4th IW event, and I made more friends this one than I have all the other ones combined.
You find yourself, exactly through Irrelevant Warriors. Irrelevant Warriors is 100% always going to be a part of my life from here on out.
Oh, that breeze feels great. Right.
Jingle jangle.
Can't watch that without smiling.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back right now. I don't know about you, but yeah, tell us a little bit about how, I think you and I, when we were out there, we were able to go to a much deeper place and have deeper conversations. Did you feel that?
Absolutely. We shared a few moments. I usually don't talk about stuff like that. But yeah, we talked about my brother and how much he meant to you and how much he meant to the organization, and it was a good moment. It was a freeing moment to know that other people loved him as much as I did, and no, it was a good time. I think I spent most of the time trying not to fall in the water again, because we got in the canoe and Ryan said, "I'm mad I don't have my phone on to watch you guys tip," and then we immediately tipped the canoe, and then but yeah, we had a lot of really good quiet moments. It was amazing. I apologize. I have a cat walking in front of my window right here, and my dog's about to jump on it, so I'm really trying not to knock all my stuff over here.
It's all good. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. I think, yeah, it's funny. We got in the canoe and then we immediately got pulled by a rapid into a log and flipped, and we didn't flip the rest of the time. So we basically just completely dumped, yard sail all of our lunch and all of our stuff, all of our phones, everything.
It broke the ice.
They were in waterproof. Yeah, they were in waterproof cases and everything. But it was that was hysterical. Did I tell you about this? I'm talking to Will.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a float trip.
Yeah, you want to have fun. Put a big guy in a canoe.
We flipped in front of everybody that was shoving off. So, the entire group had just put their boats in the water, and we were the first ones off the shore.
Hey, man,
we got caught in a rapid, and we just completely. And I don't think anybody else flipped. I think we were the ones that was the moment in front of everybody, and it was like, I'm just going to eat a whole bunch of humble pie, And Bill and I are running around trying to gather up all of our stuff.
Yeah, well, it looked like some pretty vicious river dogs were out there on that float with y'all. and Bill, what do you guys call that up in Wisconsin? Down here in Missouri, that what we just showed on that video, we call that a float trip. That's all I've ever known it as. And then when I started meeting people not from Missouri, they have no clue what I'm talking about. What do you call it up there? Is it a float trip up there or canoeing?
Yeah, tubing on the river. You know, I don't think I've ever heard it called a float trip, but yeah, you want to go tubing and you have to automatically assume it's with water because it's summer. Otherwise, you sound crazy. You know, because normally you go tubing in the snow and sledding and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we call it tubing. And there's never any canoes or kayaks. It's mostly the ones that I've been on in this area. It's you just everybody rides in a bus and they drop you off. Everybody gets in a tube and you tie you together and you float down the river. And it's a lot of fun. It's always been a lot of fun. It's a good way to get the stress out. Is just to go spend a day on the water with some friends.
Some of these Missouri rivers are a little too much for a tube.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of fast water, and I also think when you get out on the water, for some reason, it opens up the ability to make friends. You know, friendships and with strangers, kind of. You know, when you're in a city and you're running into people, or you go to a networking event, it's almost manufactured, or it just doesn't feel authentic. But when you're out on the water next to another IW person you've never met before, you just immediately start bonding, right? It's like a Silkies hike on the water, you know, a Silkies float.
Yeah, you know, we need to do more of these, like all over the country.
Oh, the response that we got online was, when's the next one and where's the one in my area? And
you know, they can start their own in their own area.
I know. And the coolest thing was, it was easier to put on than a hike.
Oh,
because
yeah.
with a hike, you have to map out every intersection and how you're going to cross it, and road guards and all the different things. But when you do one of these events, it's literally you have an outfitter.
Yeah, you show up.
And yeah, you work a deal with an outfitter, and all you as IW have to do is show up. Yeah, and we did some meals, but those were the meal part is never the hardest part of a Silkies hike, you know. So it was really, really cool, and I love how everybody wore Silkies, right? Because that's what we do, and we're never going to not do that.
And so for everybody to, I said I'd gone down there, and I was there. I was there Friday night and stayed the night. And then I was moving on Saturday, so probably the hottest day of the year. I know you guys had to have been just getting. I mean, thank God you're on water. You could jump.
But the water was 70 degrees, so the wind coming off the water was like air conditioning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, there was no air conditioning where I was moving. It was really terrible. But
Funny, I didn't feel that way.
Oh, Bill was hot.
Oh, Bill was hot. All right,
the air conditioning didn't
We'll let
work for
Bill
you,
be
Bill?
hot. Yeah.
No, I'm from Wisconsin. It's 98 degrees is a lot. That's a lot.
Well, we need to come up with a name that's not floating, so that we don't confuse people the next time we do this, you know, here in St. Louis so maybe that'll be the fun game. Everybody can submit a title we've got our Silky hikes.
Yep.
What are we going to call this? Silky floats, the IW Navy. What do we, I'd love to see everybody submit some suggestions and give us some help in figuring out the right thing to call this thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. What do we call this? When IW folks and Silkies get on the water, what do we call that?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. But yeah, again, people can start these on their own, you know?
Yep.
Get these kinds of events. It doesn't have to be floating down the river either. It could be all sorts of crazy stuff. Go hiking, go, whatever.
Yes. I agree. I can't wait to see more of this. And thank you, Bill, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Really appreciated seeing you there. And while Bill and I were out on the water and we had some really quiet, kind of introspective, meditative moments, when I got back to my cabin, I was journaling like crazy, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's just a part of my process that's come around is, I'll go out in nature, specifically in nature where those voices stop, and I'll just be with myself and think about things from a new perspective, and interact with nature. And then when I come back from that, I'll just be journaling inspired, just journaling about the different thoughts that came to me, the inspiration I found in nature, the introspection I did, or new breakthroughs I had, or things I had never thought of before from a different direction, right? Just healing, right? Like self-healing type of stuff. And one of the ways I got into journaling is I was doing the Veterans Workbook, and Jenna and Anna are coming on to speak about that. But Mike Wilkie, who I had mentioned and we all knew and loved, he was doing the Veterans Workbook journaling as well, and he and I were both doing that at the same time. And we've got Jenna and Anna who are going to come on and talk about what what that process is, because Jenna actually wrote the Veterans Workbook,
Really?
which is a journaling prompt, gratitude journaling, specifically for veterans in our voice, right?
I'd love to hear all
and
about it.
so, yeah. And she's also just a fantastic human, a fantastic mother, and a wonderful friend, and an IW member. So
even best. Best
yes,
of all.
Yes.
Good
so,
job, Jenna.
Yes. She was live streaming from a hike about a month ago, and I wanted to have you all on to talk about, Jenna, talk about the process. You had to be doing a ton of your own journaling, like the process I described. You had your own process when you were probably putting this book together and decided, hey, let's get this out there. Let's more folks than me need to understand the power behind journaling.
Yes, so journaling's been a part of my life since a little girl, and it definitely has gotten me through the hardest times. So I had a podcast for a few years, and the same themes started coming up, when reintegrating to civilian life. And so I just started writing down all these themes. And then later, when I began like the process of putting it together, I took those themes and wrote questions around them. How could I get veterans to think about these things and, use their own words through these questions? And that's how it was born.
I'm Anna. But so I actually don't have the veteran workbook, but Jenna sent it to me and I just started reading about the categories in the beginning of it. I don't journal much. I've made several attempts. Like when I was a kid, I would get really upset and be like, I need to write a diary, tell them my secret to. And then after I wasn't upset anymore, I just was bored with it. And so it was never a consistent thing for me. And looking at this notebook, it gives enough prompts to where I feel like I would be able to do it. But something that was interesting to me is the categories, the structure, redefining yourself, reflection of service, and planning for the future. And I was just wondering how these interacted with the structure of the book, because the rest of it seemed just like more prompting. So, how do those four categories interact with everything?
Yeah, so every one of those categories, all of the themes fall under them. So they're either going to help with reflecting, they're going to ask you questions about your service, what you went through either before or like what you're going through now. The structure is kind of asking, like, what did you learn in the military? What was great about your routine, your habits, and what do you want to bring with you to civilian life? And what don't you want to? Like, maybe you picked up smoking, maybe you picked up drinking more. What do you want to leave behind? The redefining who you are is, you really created like a persona. The military kind of puts that on you. You're wearing a uniform, you're wearing your hair a certain way, guys shaving. What do you want to keep from that? And who do you want to be now? And then the last one, which is, wait, what's the last one?
It was planning for the future.
Yes, planning for the future. So you got out for a reason, or, maybe it wasn't your choice to get out. But when you pictured yourself eventually getting out, what did you want to do? What gets you excited about, opportunities? What are your passions? And kind of helping you just like envision what's next.
And I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. That's for sure. What recommendations do you have for someone who struggles with journaling?
Yeah, this is a book for you because I know a lot of people get intimidated by a blank page, and so I wanted to make it easy. Here's all the questions. They're not that hard, and there's 2 questions per day. So if you don't like one, just skip it, and also just flip around. If you don't like a theme or you're not ready for it, go to something else. Go to something a little lighthearted and
But
start there.
did you have a strategy with how you organized the questions, or was it just, is that why you used to say just jump around if you need, or do you have like a way you ordered it on purpose?
Yeah, I ordered it so it makes sense when you're going through it, kind of starting with creating a space to do the journal every day and like working on your routines, your habits, and then it kind of goes a little bit into the deeper stuff and then more lighthearted stuff again at the end. So it will make sense if you do it in order, but you don't have to.
Gotcha. So the first thing looks like it's about finding space. So how how is that something you apply to your life? Like, what is finding space for you?
Yeah, for me right now, it's finding a spot when my kids aren't in my face asking for something. I'm not locked in on a screen, just some space. And for me, I find that right before bed, when the kids are sleeping and I have like a few moments to myself before I like pass out. And that's when I journal now. Some people like to get up early. They like to welcome the day with the sunrise and a cup of coffee. Like I aspire to be you. So that would be your time. So it's just kind of thinking about your day. Other people I know, they like have a lunch break or they'll eat lunch in their car. And that's when they have a few moments to themselves instead of scrolling or, whatever. Hey, pick up a pen and just make a few moments. It'll make each day feel a little more special too.
Yeah, I've realized I do have to get up earlier and it's easier a little bit in the summertime. But I have to get outside and kind of putz around outside, do something with my chickens or do something with nature and appreciate the sunshine. Or else I'm just really, really, really grumpy because I'm not a morning person at all. And so like I need that like hour of time before I allow external stimulation to just start going at my brain because you know I do well in high speed environments and stuff like that, but also I've been trying to take steps back for I think the first time in my life, and it's harder than I thought because I'm like, why do I have anxiety about relaxing?
Yeah, but that's part of the veteran experience. We're used to, it's dangerous to sit still. It's important. We're always doing something. So a lot of that is unlearning all of that. We need to be productive at all times. I'm the same way. That's why I got into crocheting because you can still sit there and you feel like you're being productive and doing something, but you're relaxing. And the same with journaling, you are sitting there relaxing and turning inwards, but you're still like your mind feels like you're being productive. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
about that.
We really want to hear some of the questions, like read out of the book. Like
what are the prompts?
And the weirder, the
That
better.
was one.
That's what we're looking for. We want to hear who's got a book. Mine's in my office. It's not here, but I would read them myself.
Well, I could read another one. The first question of the book was, where did you find space for yourself today? And then the second one is, what does it feel like to have time dedicated to just you? Sometimes like a chore or like I'm getting away with something. And so when I'm going outside in the morning, like I have to play tricks on my brain. So it's almost productive. So I'm like, well, it's, I need some sort of sunshine. They say that there's grounding effects and I have to take care of my chickens, so I'm being productive, but it's good for me and I enjoy it. So like I almost have to justify it in my brain so I can enjoy it as well.
That makes sense to us. I think Will and I both need to do this exact journaling prompt and find space for ourselves.
I'm totally down, man. Let's just do the journal together, man.
Yeah. But so tell me about, there's a link, right? There's a way to get this. I mean, I know that myself and Mike Wilkie found it pretty easily on Amazon, but what's a good way to get this for IW folks if someone's interested? I know it's super cheap too. It's like $8.99 or $9.99 or something like that.
Yeah, it's $10 flat. So I made it as cheap as I could just to get it out there because I think it's a great tool. You can find it on Amazon. You probably have to type in the Veteran Workbook, Jenna Carlton, or if you go to my Instagram at the Millennial Veteran, it's linked right in my bio. I'm still working on making it more searchable.
Yeah, I struggled.
We'll
I
take that
had
and
to
put it up
ask
on
you
our,
about it. Oh, sorry.
Will was just saying he had an idea.
Yeah, no, I was going to say let's put it on the Foundation's main webpage and put it over on the IW page as a resource and start pushing that thing out there. I'm a big fan of journaling.
Yeah.
I like writing. I like going introspective and working through kind of the thoughts and help me connect some dots.
Yep, absolutely.
I have a long storied history with journaling. When I was a kid, they still paddled you in school. And I don't know if you had it, but we used to have these scholastic book fair things.
Yes.
Remember those?
Yeah, when you went out and walked through the trailer?
Yeah. Well, we didn't have that, but we had these little. I do know what you're talking about because my kids gone through that. But what I had was like there was always a Scholastic little newsletter thing that you would get, and it was like really exciting. And boy, you'd pick all these
the new
you'd
books, the new Dr. Seuss.
Right. And I always had Mad Libs. And I got paddled more than once over Mad Libs when I was
because you didn't you put something inappropriate in there.
I might have.
That's on brand for you. That's on brand for you. Yeah, I think
it was fun.
For me, journaling was so intimidating that I started out by just doing a bullet point.
Yeah.
Like because I thought, oh, I need to write like a diary, right? Where my day went like this, and you're like, I can't write a chapter of a book right now. So I just started doing bullet points and using words and terms that later on, if I wanted to expound upon that prompt, she would ask, one of the questions she asked, how do I make space for myself? And I would just do a bullet point and put, skateboarding. Because that's my thing. But then later I could expound upon why. Like, why does skateboarding? I don't even have to think about it. I know it's skateboarding. Why is it skateboarding? I don't know. Oh, moving my body, moving energy, moving, calms my mind. And then I get to do something on my own where I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I'm not competing with anybody else. I'm competing with myself. And I'm just working on something and getting better, right? So that's wonderful. Yeah, I think we're going to throw that up on our website. I love that you're selling it for cost, for $10. I appreciate that so much because, there's a lot of people that think, oh, that person wrote a book, so they have a private jet or something. But I love that you're just like whatever you can do to make more of them and get them out and not trying to make a ton of money off of it. But that's really, really, really cool. And I want to support that because I think journaling within the veteran space is highly underutilized. And I think from reading the book and seeing all the sources and all the different things, both ancient texts and new modern science stuff that you've incorporated in there made me think like you're the foremost expert in journaling on the veteran front that I've ever known, and being a member of IW is like, yeah, this is a win-win. Let's make this a thing.
Yeah. Jenna, what are you doing on September 12th, 13th, and 14th this year?
Would you like to come teach at the Grunt Style Foundation retreat?
With the old journaling. I think that'd be a banger class.
Yeah.
Yes, let's make it happen.
Save you a seat. We will save you a seat in the presenters arena. And if you have extra copies of the books you want to bring out, and you can vendor them there as well. And yeah, let's get this book into the hands of the people. I like it.
Absolutely. Anna, are you coming to the retreat? Nod, yes or no. Are you coming this year to the retreat, September?
I don't know. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Oh, got it.
That's a no.
She came last year and we did the Sweat Lodge, and it was pretty hardcore.
Yes. Yeah. I hope you do make it, Anna. I miss your face around these parts, man. It's always good when you come out and visit.
I stayed through the whole Sweat Lodge.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of folks that didn't make it through because you can tap out at any time. Nobody was shamed.
No shame.
No, I mean, there was. I felt like if I tapped out, I'd be super embarrassed, But there was nothing but love for everybody. Like if you even attempted it, like there was nothing but love.
The only thing we had that we could do better on that was that there was such an atmosphere of excitement and camaraderie, and just everybody was just spun up to the nines.
Oh, you bond like nothing. You bond like nothing. I mean, it's crazy the way you bond.
But then, like, it's a little jolting getting people from that mindset because it's fun. It is a good time. And then, hey, let's go do this super sacred thing. And so, we had to. How do you calm the energy without killing the energy going in? Because it's like William and Jay were saying. It's like their church. It's like being respectful on it. So
you have to be respectful.
We got to do a better job this year on balancing the two and making sure everybody understands. Yeah, middle note.
True. Right. Yeah, the process that they walk us through is very. It's all about being able to purge toxins physically and also things that you're ready to let go of.
That's right.
Emotional things. So, hey, Jenna, thank you so much. I'm going to keep Anna on for a minute, but Jenna, thank you so much. I really appreciate
it.
Jenna. Look forward to hanging out in September.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
All right, cool. And then Anna, we're going to discuss the documentary, the IW 10-year anniversary documentary we're going to be launching in July. And here it is, the hike back, and it's going to be streaming live. Tell us how excited you are, and tell us all the different things, how we can do the pre-screening and all that.
I'm really excited to finally get this out there to everyone. We were kind of roadblocked for a while because it was in a lot of festivals and won a lot of awards. So that was really cool. The awesome thing about this documentary is everyone knows where we're at now, kind of, and where we're going. But this is just really going to show everyone the history of Irreverent Warriors and where we came from and how long it took us to get to this point and all the people who helped us along the way. So I'm really excited that it's going to just be up for everyone to see, because I think it's a really important message for people to know how much work it took for people to get here to where we're at today.
Yeah.
How many awards did that thing win? I know that it received several.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it was a lot, but I think that number was out there before I took over as marketing director, so I couldn't tell you. But the local chapter leaders have been doing private screenings for it over the past couple of years, and so now everyone will get to watch it, and I'm really excited to get that message out. History is an important thing for people to know.
That movie is powerful. It's emotional. It's gut wrenching in a couple of places, and it's also extremely positive and uplifting.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like listening to Pink Floyd, The Wall. Man, you're going to do all the emotions on that movie.
Yes, absolutely.
And when does this thing come out?
This comes out on Amazon Prime and YouTube streaming on July 4th.
Oh man,
July
that's next
4th.
week.
Yep. Yep. July 4th. Yep.
We're trying to figure out how we're gonna do a watch party or a streaming party, so we'll see how we're gonna go about doing that. If we can do it on the 4th, that'd be cool, but I know we have a lot going on the 4th, specifically the Celebrate St. Louis thing. I've been seeing a lot of chatter about that coming up, so that's gonna be really cool to see.
And for the July 4th 10-year anniversary celebration in St. Louis, where we have the backstage VIP access to the festival and concert for Celebrate St. Louis, we just recently added a drone show being put on by Marvel, which is supposed to be I mean, the universe.
Which
Marvel Studios is doing a drone show that they've been taking around the country apparently, and doing it at festivals and things. And they happen to, you know how the universe brings you crazy things. Right. They happen to be available on July 4th and in the area. So they're going to do a free drone show under the St. Louis Arch. And I just want to point out to everyone that the drones are friendly. These are friendly drones. These are not tangos. These are friendly drones. So we're gonna have a drone show, because I know some veterans go, drone show. Oh, I don't want to be around drones. Well, we're gonna have friendly drones.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for it as long as it's the A-grade Marvel and not like the B-list Marvel where you get like all the second-tier heroes that nobody's heard of, but for whatever reason exist.
Well, the name of the show is something related to Superman. So
I was just about to say.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's the real legit Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah, because what's more legit than Superman?
Not Superman's not Marvel. So we're getting like
it's coming out with a new
at the Arch. What's going on?
There's a new Superman movie coming out, and I think it's Marvel.
Yeah, maybe our wires.
We're gonna have
to cross.
look into that, man. We're putting out misinformation on the internet. Oh no, it's probably DC then if it's Superman. But whatever, it's comic book stuff, and it's a drone show. And how cool is that?
Yeah.
It's going to be the largest fireworks display, and drone shows are cool. I got to see one at the Bass Pro Amphitheater when Garth Brooks was playing down in Branson a couple years ago.
Sure,
and that was the first time I ever saw a drone show in real life.
Yeah,
and I thought it was fireworks because they were doing a fireworks show, and then the fireworks kind of fade away, and then there's the drones in the air, and you don't know they're drones, you think they're still fireworks, and then they don't fall, and it looked like a firework explosion that just refused to go away. And as you're watching it, it started turning into some guy shooting a bow and arrow, and then it was like a deer running across the sky, and it was just like the crazy coolest thing I've ever seen.
Got it.
So, and that was, not nearly the scale of what this is probably going to be. So I'm excited. All right, I'm in.
I'm very excited. We will figure out what it will be, but I know it's drones.
I don't know that it's Marvel, man.
But it's going to be, yeah, you're right. It could not be. But we're doing the Silky's hike leading up to it. Then we're going to have the concert. And then there's going to be the drone show of the anonymous superhero.
Yeah, some superhero.
Yeah,
guy,
some
weirdo
superheroes.
in tights.
We don't know. It's going to be the Silky's
Probably wearing silkies.
superhero.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then we're going to get into the biggest fireworks display in North America.
Yeah.
If you're bringing children, feel free to bring hearing protection.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea because it is going. There it is. You're seeing it right there. It's going to be wham, wham, wham because we are our backstage VIP area is directly underneath.
Yeah.
So you're just looking straight up,
was
and
amazing.
it's boom, boom, but like right above your head. So it feels like you're at. The Star Spangled Banner when it was written, the War of 1812, and the British were exchanging fire with that fort.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you're there, And the interesting thing about that part of Missouri and that area of the Arches, that's where a fort used to be.
Yes.
And that fort was instrumental in the Revolutionary War and the Civil War.
The only battle ever fought west of the Mississippi during the Revolutionary War was right there.
Yeah, and we're going to be there with boom, boom, bang, bang. I mean, it's going to, we're bringing it back.
Yeah,
it's not...
Fort Don Carlos, and people died on those grounds underneath where the arch is. In fact, where the stage is, that's where the cannon emplacements were shooting across the river at the British.
Hollowed ground.
Yeah, I like all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, definitely appreciate Anna. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks,
definitely
Anna. Great
appreciate
to see you,
it.
dear.
We will be wrapping up. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you're interested in any of these events, please check out the irreverentwarriors.com and go to the events page. And if you're interested in the retreats in the Grunt Style Foundation, holistic healing offerings, please go to the Grunt Style Foundation.
That's right. And check us out again on Facebook. If you just look for Integration 2025-STL, you will find our public group that is supporting the integration event this year. A lot of amazing people over there. It's a good time. It's good people that are all coming together for the right thing, and they're excited, and the energy is contagious, and it's just good people trying to be kind and just welcoming, and it's just an amazing event. And I see we got one follow alibi question here from Lisa Mills asking, is there going to be a concert this year?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, multiple different genres, country, EDM. Yeah, rock. It's going to be great. And
country last year was.
Yep.
What was the name of that band? They had that big song, Three Favorite Colors. Their name escapes me, but that was one hell of a show.
I know the Urge is playing this year.
There's
a bunch. There's a lot of different people lined up, and I know we actually had some float trip name suggestions. I don't know if those. I saw them flitter across the screen at one point, but we had for people we were talking about going out on kayaks and canoes in the water, and when IW does that with Silkies on, what are we going to call that? It's not going to be a Silkies hike. What are we going to call that?
We'll compile them and let's do the top 10 next episode.
Got it.
Run through the list. Maybe make
Billy
it a poll.
McGee's got an idea. Silky Drift. Silky's Adrift. Silky's Adrift. IW Wet and Wild. I don't know. That might have the wrong connotation.
I don't know about that one.
But yeah. River Romp.
River Romp. No, that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Let's go River Romp.
Silky's Adrift. I don't know.
That one sounds like a silky dropper. I don't know.
No. Tactical tubing. IW Tactical Tubing. I like it.
But we don't do tubes on it because, other places may do tubes, so maybe it is.
Yeah, a couple tactical tubing. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate our
Low Cash. Billy McGee got it. It was Low Cash. That was the name of the band.
Low Cash Band. Oh, okay.
There's a big band, man. This is a big concert, man. This is not like Tiddlywinks. This is legit A-lister. Holy cow.
Oh, it's Oh, yeah. I mean, how many people came last year? 50, 60,000?
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Because there's stuff going on all over the city. It's not just there in the Arch. There's a big parade, or at least there has been. Although, word on the street says there may be some disruptions this year.
Well, we are always ready to pivot and do whatever we can to support our country and be patriotic. So it will be interesting no matter what. But yeah, for our Silkies hike, they're going to give us a police radio, and we've got a police liaison,
That's
and
good.
like we're all linked in
Yeah,
with the state park and all
Good.
that. So in the
Good.
federal park.
I hope there's not any nonsense down there.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Thank you everybody in the studio for helping put this on, and thank you to all of our guests. So love you guys. See you next week.
All right. See you next week. Oh, bye.